We've got another set of gadgets to take apart. I wonder what could be inside them. Let's find out. Welcome back to What's Inside. First up, we have this voice-changing app. This one was a weird one because it said to plug and play and then it didn't do anything. And when I plugged it in, it just started making noise. So I had to open it up. And it turns out there's no board at all. It's all just a microphone and a speaker. There's some copper tape on here that looks like an antenna, but I'm not too sure. That explains why it wasn't working. The board is probably on the computer. Yep, there's nothing on here. It's just a bunch of wires going into nowhere. I bet if you took the casing off, there would be a board in there somewhere. Let's try that. Oh yeah, there's a board right underneath the casing. Hey, look how small that thing is. The microphone is right over here, and the speaker is right over here. So yeah, pretty simple device. Just plug it in, and it gets its power from the USB port, and everything else is done on the software. Next up, we have this phone stand. And this one actually has a motor inside. You can see the motor right here. It's really cool. Pull this lever up and the motor starts spinning, and it lifts up your phone. Then when you release this lever, it slowly stops and sets the phone down. This one S, actually really useful, and it seems like it S well made. So I do think I'll have any issues taking it apart. Okay, this should be easy enough. All we have to do is unscrew these two screws. Pop off the bottom casing, and then we can get to the motor. Easy. Now I can't seem to figure out how to remove the motor. If I remove this wire, then the motor won't work. If I remove this, then the screw won't be able to hold the weight of the motor and fall. So I'm going to leave that. Oh yeah, there's definitely some kind of lock in there somewhere. Yeah, there's the lock. Looks like the motor slides in and out. Yep, that's the case. Right, now we can take the motor out. And wow, look how heavy this thing is. And look at how much torque is in this little thing. It's pretty crazy. We have the motor right here. This is the screw that holds the phone up, and these are the gears that transfer the motion to the screw. So yeah, really interesting design. The reason why this thing works so well is because of the long moment arm on this gear. It means for the same input force, you get a much higher output torque. For example, if you had a gear with a 10 times longer moment arm, you would get 10 times more torque out. That's why this thing can hold up such a heavy phone with such a small motor. Next up, we have this portable mini fridge. This one is pretty interesting because it's both a fridge and a warmer. You just flip a switch and it changes temperature. On the inside, we have a metal plate that's used to transfer heat from the cooling element to the fridge. That's standard. But over here, we also have a heating element. This one is quite large. The whole thing is covered in foam. So yep, there's our heating element. It's not very big, but it does have a fan on it, so it should be able to spread the heat around. As you can see, there are many different ways to use this. You can use it as a warmer or as a fridge. These metal prongs are probably used to hold things in place. So yeah, let's try opening this up. Looks like all we need to do is unscrew these 3 screws, pop off the top casing, and then we can take a look inside. So this is basically an aluminum box with some foam in it. What's this white stuff? It looks like a cooling element, but it doesn't look right. Is this a Peltier cooler? Yep, that's what it is. You can tell because it has these little bumps on it, and that S what transfers heat to whatever is on top of it. So on the other side, we have a Peltier cooler for warming things up and for cooling things down. These little wires are probably what connect to the controller board. There's the board right here. It's really simple. There's not much to it. There's a micro SD card slot right here, and that S where you probably put the programs that control the board. Yeah, pretty interesting design. This thing is basically just 2 Peltier coolers on opposite sides of the box. Now on to something more fun. We have this voice-changing headset. This one looks like it has a lot of electronics inside. Let's find out. So this one actually plugs into your computer through USB. Let's plug it in and see if it works. Yeah, it says microphone jack. So yep, this goes over here and then the microphone goes over here. And wait, why is it red? Why is it red? Wait, maybe the microphone is supposed to go over here. Yep, that makes sense. So the microphone goes into the headset and then this goes into the computer. Okay, let's try this again. Is this thing even working? Yep, it's working. That's pretty cool. It says microphone activated. That's amazing. I'm hearing myself, but I wonder if anyone else can hear me. Wait, yes, they can. They can hear me. They can hear me. It's crazy. Awesome. That's so cool. So we just got a message from someone who wants to remain anonymous, and he sent us a picture of his custom-made hoverboard. Yeah, that's pretty cool, but it gets better. He sent us a video of him riding it. He's actually riding it. Yeah, look at that. That's so cool. Do you want to see a hoverboard on our channel? And send us a video. All right, back to the video. This headset is pretty cool. Let's take a look inside. Don't screw these 4 screws, pop off the casing, and then we can take a look inside. Wow, this thing is tiny. It's so small. What's this black stuff?
Hi.
I'm not sure. This is probably the voice changer. This right here is a microcontroller. It's probably what's making all the magic happen. And this is probably the microphone. Wow, it's so small. And this is the microphone. I'm actually surprised at how small this thing is. But let's unplug the microphone and see if it still works. Yep, it's still working. It's still picking up my voice. This is the board right here. You can see the microcontroller right here, and these are the inputs and outputs. Yep, this is the microphone, and this is the speaker. Let's unplug this and see if it still works. Yep, it's still working. I'm hearing myself. It's pretty insane. So yeah, this is a really cool headset. I wonder how it changes the voice. Maybe it just adds some effects to it. Let's take the speaker out and listen to it. Yep, that's my voice. It sounds exactly the same. Maybe it just adds some kind of effect to it. Let's take the microphone out and see if it still works. Yep, it's still working. I wonder what the voice changing part of this thing does. I wonder what this little chip is. And finally, we have this laptop stand. This one's pretty interesting because it has 2 different modes. You can either use it as a stand, or you can use it as a holder. When you flip it over, it locks into place. This one looks pretty simple. Let's take a look inside. All we have to do is unscrew these 2 screws, pop off the bottom casing, and then we can take a look inside. Wow, this thing is empty. There's literally nothing in here. The only thing I can think of is that maybe it's hollow. Yeah, that's the case. So this whole thing is hollow. That's why it's so light. And these little rubber feet keep it in place. So yeah, a really simple design. It doesn't do anything fancy. It's just a hollow tube. That was the end of today's episode. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up button and then check out some of our other videos.